You need a data room. Yes, you really do. And I'm going to teach you what it is today. Because today we're going to be going through something that most founders only think about when it's almost too late or it's not being rushed, right? Most of you watching this video right now have applied for several grants, accelerators or any other funding opportunity. And right now, what you're just waiting for is that email that says, "Oh, you've been selected to the next stage," and you're like, "Yippee!" So it's always exciting, but I want to ask you a very important question. If that email, let's say it comes in right now as you're watching this video, or maybe tomorrow, they invite you for something called the due diligence stage, which is usually that next stage. Do you have everything to say and prepare that within the next 24 hours, I'm going to submit this to them? Yeah. Ask yourself that question, and when you answer it, you will know whether you're ready. Because at due diligence stage, they are no longer looking for a way to review your compelling story. They've already done that. What they're auditing at that moment is now the structure, the maturity, and even the readiness of you and your business. So they are checking whether what you wrote is actually documented. They want to be sure that you're keeping track and that where you say you are is where you are. And that's where your data room comes in. So this video, I'm going to take my time to walk you through exactly what needs to be inside your data room. And I'm going to take it segment by segment and folder by folder. And if you want the exact checklist to build yours immediately after watching this video, then I want you to comment data room, and I'm actually going to personally send you the free template for you to be able to use it to create yours using your Google Drive. Now let's build this together. Yeah, let's do that. So there are about 7 major segments that these funders or reviewers are always looking out for, and these particular segments apply to both technical and non-technical founders, but I will point out where it differs for both segments. So let's start with the first segment, which is the corporate information segment. Yes, so this is the first thing that they want to confirm, and it's very simple. They just want to be sure that, oh, that your business is legally real. And inside this segment, they want to see several documents, and the first one is going to be a very clear one pager, corporate profile of your business, and it should contain what you do, when you were incorporated, where you operate from, and who leads the business. But let it be one picture. Then you will send your certificate of incorporation, your memorandum and article of association, which we usually call the MEMAT, your CAC status report. So this is for Nigeria. So for your country, you can figure it out. Shareholders agreement or subscription agreement, if you have one or if it's applicable to you. Then your licenses and regulatory certifications. So what I'm talking about here are NAFDAC, ITF, SON, industry-specific permits, depending on the sector where you fall under. So if you are in a regulated industry, compliance must be very visible at this stage. If in your application you mention that, oh, I'm very compliant, this is where they would confirm it. The second segment is the financials and investment structure segment. Now, they have moved to the numbers. This is the part where founders get nervous. This section, they want to ask one question and they want you to answer it. Do you understand your business financially? And you see what I said, financially. So here they're looking out for management accounts, income statements, balance sheet, cash flow statements. And if you have been in business for a couple of years, so 2 to 3 years or more, they actually expect to see those 2 to 3 years or more of these documents. And if you're very early stage, maybe say minimum of 12 months, they need clean records. So you can also now surface things like, business bank account statements, your tax clearance certification, your VAT filing, if it's applicable to your business, your cap table, and this cap table is your shareholder structure. So they want to see who owns what percentage the person owns, any outstanding convertible notes or agreements. You see what I'm saying? So if you have raised before, they will want to see details of past funding rounds. So if you've also received grants, include that in the history of that cap table. Your equity structure must be clear. Nothing like, oh, I have one side agreement with my neighbor or my friend or this person, and it's not documented. If you cannot, document it, and if they cannot understand your ownership structure quickly, that becomes a concern, and you might actually lose out on the due diligence level. The third segment is commercial and strategy segment. Now they are asking, is this business actually viable? Yeah, for us to invest. So yeah, they want you to include things like your current business plan so that they can see the broader version of it, your business model canvas, your marketing analysis, your competitive landscape, your revenue model breakdown. Yes, this part is also important. Break it down. Your unit economics, if you have it. So if you don't have it, go and find out how to have it. Your latest pitch deck. So if you have a product demo, please include the product demo video or the link. So if you have major customers or contracts or partnerships agreements, add them here. Now, this is where it gets slightly different from non-tech and tech founders. So tech founders include things like your product roadmap so that they can see how far you're going and understand it clearly. Your technical architecture overview is very important. You need to add that. System documentation, very important. Your security policy, add it. Your data protection compliance, oh, this one is important. If you're a non-tech founder, please focus more on your operational procedures or your processes and the documentations that come with it. So your supply chain structure, your vendor agreement, your production capacity, just make it very clear what applies to your own business in this segment as a non-tech founder. For the number 4, you're talking about human resources. So here, they are now checking, is it beyond you? They are looking for structure. They want to see, do you have a real team, or you are the one that is chief everything officer doing everything alone? So here you will include your organizational chart, so they get to see the broader organization, the CVs of management team, the employment contract template that you have, your payroll structure, your advisory board members and their bios. Short one, actually, no need to make it so long. And if you have an ESOP plan, include it. Yes, ESOP means employee stock ownership plan. Yeah, so it is a structured plan that allows employees to own, shares in the company. This is usually over time, so it's not an immediate thing, but if you have it, just add it. So they are checking for role clarity in this segment. So they want to see who is responsible for finance, who is responsible for operations, and who takes key strategic decision in the organization. If somehow when they finish checking all this thing, everything rounds back to only you, that tells them something, and sometimes it can be very dicey, right? The 5th segment is governance. Yeah, so this is where more serious funders and reviewers pay attention to. You might be thinking, why? So when you include things like your board resolution, minutes of key meetings, just to keep them on the know like they were there, director identification documents, so your NIN and passports, conflict of interest policy, your risk management framework, and list of litigations or claims that you may have, if you have any, add it. Even if you're a small business, basic governance can show readiness and put you on the high scale. The 6th one is the legal and compliance segment. So here, they want to reduce risk both for themselves and for you. So you would include things like your intellectual property documentation, your trademark registration, patents if it's applicable to your business, privacy policies, terms and conditions, very, very important, and NPDR compliance if you operate in Nigeria and you handle user data. So it's very important. So if you are a tech person and you collect customer data, you should know this as well. So it is not an optional part in this segment. It must be seen there. So number 7, we're looking at operations and metrics segment. So this is the part that many founders always forget. I'm telling you, they always forget. But here you are including key KPI dashboards, monthly performance reports, customer analytics, retention data, acquisition cost data if it is available, standard operating procedures of your business. So when they review this, they are checking consistency. So you have to be very careful. They're checking consistent. Are the numbers stable? Are they aligning? Are they the same thing? Do you track your performance regularly? And do you make decisions just on your own, or you use data to make those decisions? They're looking at it. Your data room is a reflection of how you run your business. The way it is organized tells reviewers how structured your company really is. right? They can't see you, so this is what will help them to make decisions. So you don't need to wait for them to ask you now. Build it right now. Yes, build it right now. Update it quarterly. Run your own internal review before an external reviewer comes to come and do it for you. If you want the exact folder that I've said here right now and checklist for you to create your step by step, comment data room. I mentioned it in the beginning of this video. Comment data room below and I will send it to you personally so that you can be able to create yours. It comes with instructions so you can organize your own drive properly for any reviewer that is coming to check it out. And if you are serious about positioning your business for high-level funding opportunities, I want you to sign up on UpTracker. Yes, at www.uptracker.com. UpTracker matches you to relevant funding opportunities, sends reminders to you, and keeps you informed so you do not miss serious application deadlines. If you're already on UpTracker, I'm very sure you know how valuable this is to you so far this year. And if you're not, this is the time for you to actually sign up now. So until the next video, we will continue building structure in our businesses, right? All right. So don't forget to like, comment, share this video so that another founder who needs to prepare properly can be able to see it. See you in the next video. And don't forget, my name is Choma.